I don't have an inspiring story to say why I chose town planning. I didn't choose it, I fell into it. I guess I was lucky and I've never looked back. I feel like it is a career that fits like a glove for me. Well, I'd say working on a large project in Toowong, Graceland Coronation, for me is probably the highlight and the low light, unfortunately. But I can take something from it, and so it's still a highlight for my career, and that's a project for me that was proposed by a legacy developer, someone who wanted to actually create a great project on the Brisbane River at Toowong, Sunland Group, and it was working with the architect that they'd appointed, Zahar Hadid Architects, and she's an inspiring woman, so just the chance to work with her on a project team. She's the first woman to win the Pritzker Prize for Architecture and the first Muslim, and we pulled a great team together, and the project, I thought, had great design excellence, of course. For me, it was one of those projects that ticks almost every box. It was innovative, it was well designed, and it was giving a lot back to the community. But a great project for the developer, and it got approved. So that was a highlight, I guess, working on it, just the chance to be in that team, and then getting an approval from both the state and the local government. And then, unfortunately, it got appealed, and that was a challenge. Still interesting part of the project. It got through the first court with an approval still, and then it was turned over by the Court of Appeal. But from that, I guess, for me, that inspired me to have something to say and share it with the world, and that's what really inspired me to set up YIMBY Queensland, which is Yes in My Backyard Queensland. So I guess a highlight, a low light, and something that's now inspiring the next phase of my career. There's too many to mention, so I'd say so many inspiring women, my previous bosses, my peers, my current and my former staff members, and inspiring young women coming through in the Young Planners group at RPIA, and I think for all different reasons, but in some way each one of them has helped shape my career and inspired me along the way. And I guess if I was going to mention one or two, I would say it's probably the women I worked with in the early phases of my career who really did set me on the path that I've taken, and that would be Leman, or Robin King-Cullen, and she was my first boss. In fact, I think I only had a majority of women bosses for the first 10 years of my career, so I didn't notice that there was anything unusual about that, but now looking back on that, for me, that's great to have had powerful, strong women leaders from the beginning of my career. The other woman would be Wendy Chadwick, who was inspirational in my early phases of my career at Brisbane City Council at the time, and she, I think, just had so much energy and passion, and she was also brave and courageous, but I would say she didn't just grab opportunities, she went out there and found them and took them and ran away with them. She's amazing. Well, I hope that it's no different a challenge to men in planning, because I feel like we've become, it's the norm. There's a lot of strong, successful women in planning now, and provided that continues and they continue to take those leadership roles, not just in organisations but on committees, taking on all different roles, I think the path is set, and that's great, and I don't have any concern that that's not going to be the case. The biggest challenge now is to really start to communicate planning issues well to the community, so we can bring the community along for the ride. But for me, success is once that message starts to resonate with someone, anyone, and we've inspired a new group of people to set up YIMBY Melbourne, and someone now is interested in YIMBY Sydney, and we just get members of the community write to us and tell us why they love the project. And for me, it's that we've got that message out there and that it's resonated with people. For me, that's career success.